Did you know that on average, an OnlyFans creator makes around $130 a month? Yes, this number is super low. And the reason why this number is super low is because most models either have no idea what they're doing in marketing or they're just too shy and they want to perfect everything before posting a reel. And in this video, I'm going to be super straightforward and give you like a reality check. Because if you want to have success as an OnlyFans creator, mostly if you don't really have any winning content on your page or you're starting from zero, you need to test a bunch of content to see what works. Because if you don't try a bunch of content, you will never really know your max potential. You will never really know what content works with you. Let me give you an example for you to understand this better. For example, you guys probably don't know her, but there's a creator that's called I'm Just Peachy. This creator has around, I don't know, 300K followers on Instagram, and she's making around $300,000 a month on OnlyFans, which is obviously really good. But this girl literally only does talking reels. All she does is reels where she talks to the camera. And yes, she is making that much money only through those reels. But this model right there used to be making 5K a month. She was like spamming like the typical dancing reels that every model is doing. It just wasn't working. But if this model never had the energy, literally never had the balls to actually try different content types, she would never be where she is today. There's another creator, she's called Camila. You guys probably know her. Literally all she does is POV reels. And she is making a shit ton amount of money just from doing POV reels, like just POV sketch reels. And the reasons those two creators were so successful is because they tried a bunch of different type of content formats and they realized what type of content they are good at. Like for example, she like the girl that's only doing talking reels, she didn't continue doing those boring like dances that just clearly didn't work. Literally, what we do in my agency is that when we onboard a new model, we make her do every type of content. POV reels, walking reels, fake podcast reels, reels where she talks to the camera, skits. Literally, like we even sometimes make them do Twitch live streams. As in we take the long format as a Twitch live stream and we make into a bunch of small videos. Because if we don't try every type of format, we will never know what really works with her. Because this is how the world works, but there's girls that just are better at doing skits than doing dances. Someone is going to be better at this than that. This is why, mostly when you start from zero, you need to try a bunch of content formats. You can't just rely on one, mostly when you don't have a bunch of success. So in this video, I'm going to go more deeply on what I'm trying to say. Literally, you don't know what works best until you test it. Overthinking the content you need to do is the slowest way to stay broke on OnlyFans. If you're sitting there asking yourself what content to make instead of just making it, you are wasting so much time. Like, what you should do is make every type of content. Make POV reels, talking videos, walking, dances, fake podcast reels. You need to do every format, no filtering up front. Read the data from the reels you just did, so the POVs, the talking reels, blah, blah, blah. Look at the views and see what type of content works best with you. And then double down with the winning content. So let's say you're a creator, you did every type of format, POV reels, talking videos, walking, dances, blah, blah, blah. And you see that the POV reels works best, which is actually usually the case. Do more POV reels. You can't think your way to winning a format. You test your way there. So this creator got 1.5 million views on the 6 videos after 5 that flopped at 5K, 6K, 7K views. Let me give you a clear example on exactly what not to do. So on the left is what you should really not do. So this is you. You're posting one type of format. Let's say you're only doing dancing reels and you keep forcing it because someone said it works when it clearly doesn't work. Now let me show you what the successful creator do. They do around 5 types of different content formats to see really what works with them. And then they double down maybe on the POV reels or on the walking reels, which works for them. The winners aren't more talented, they tested more type of different content. For example, the POV reels, some creators carry them, some can't fake the emotion. You just need to see if it works. The talking reels, A whole niche lives there. One girl runs 3 talking reels a day and nothing else. Like I said, I'm just Peachy. You can search her up on Instagram. All she does is talking reels and it's working extremely well for her. Another example is dancing reels. Dancing reels. I'm gonna be honest, in 2026, dancing reels is probably the worst type of format you can do. Unless you are extremely good at dancing, I would not do dancing reel. But for the right creator, it could be a cheat code. But honestly, I do not recommend dancing reels at all. Then there's also the weird ones. For example, the walking reels. I literally have a creator. All she does is walking reels, and she used to do like POV reels, fake podcast reels, some skits, like a lot of different type of format. It would fail so miserably bad, and I was about to stop working with this creator. And then we made her do walking reels, and boom, it started working extremely well. We made her do walking reels, some elevator videos, things like that. For example, there's literally an OnlyFans model called the Elevator Girl. This girl literally only does content where she's in an elevator, and it works extremely good for her because first of all, she's niched, and clearly the walking reels are working really good with her. For example, just stop guessing and stop trying to perfect everything. Just post. Seriously, just post. It doesn't matter if it's cringe. Try a bunch of different formats and see what works. Quality isn't what you think it is. It's what your audience says it is. Because if you post in a big quantity, if you post a lot of reels, you will see which reels works and which reels doesn't, because if you post around one reel a week, you will never really know what works after, like, you'll probably know what works after multiple months. But if you post like 6 reels a day with like a bunch of them on different formats, you will know what type of format works with your content, and you can just double down on this type of content. You can't learn anything by asking what to try. You have to try it. If you overanalyze it for longer than a day, you're literally cooked. For example, as I said, the elevator girl didn't plan the elevator. She tried a dozen things that flopped first. Execution is a strategy. Everything else is procrastination. Literally, like I know the elevator girl. Like this girl used to do the boring dancing reels. She did some skits. She just realized that the type of content, the type of format she was good with was the walking reel. So she simply doubled down on that. I know that Sophie Rain does a bunch of different formats. I think Sophie Rain doesn't really do that many skits, but you get the idea. That's pretty much it for this video. If you are OnlyFans creator and you want to have help, or you're just stuck at like around 5K a month, DM me on Instagram. My username is at clovis.ofm. I'll take a look at your account for free and honestly be super straightforward with you and tell you what you're doing wrong.